Hi, this is Seth David from the world famous Nerd Enterprises Incorporated, bringing to you a special screencast, a series in fact, called Nerd's Empire Avenue Overview. Knowledge is power. Make an impact by learning more. Call me right now at 866-945-8070 for information about private trainings. We record the live session so you can review it as often as you like afterwards. Hi, I'm going to be doing a series on Empire Avenue covering a few things. The first thing I'm going to talk about in the series is how I'm using Evernote in conjunction with Empire Avenue, how I'm using Evernote to bookmark shareholders and keep track of information about people I own stock in and people who own stock in me, the community essentially that I'm building around Empire Avenue. Then we're going to take a look at the tracking template that I've created. And that's an Excel sheet that I'm still in the process of developing. By the time you're seeing this, it will be complete, and you'll be able to download it so that you'll see in the video exactly how I'm using that and how I'm actually using what I'm doing in Evernote to help build this tracking template for people that I want to keep track of specifically. Then I'm also going to show you how I handle the email tracking for Empire Avenue. I've set up something that I'm going to show you in terms of keeping it all organized, because I get flooded with emails, especially when people start buying my shares a lot, and it can get in the way of what I'm trying to do on a day-to-day basis. At the same time, I want to be able to get back to them and follow up and make sure that I'm reciprocating as much as I can when it comes to people who are purchasing shares in me on Empire Avenue. The next thing I'm going to show you is the Empire Avenue Winners Group on Facebook that I belong to. Now, if you're part of that group and you're seeing this, then obviously you're already aware of it. But this video, of course, is going to go out for everybody, so that if you're not on that group, I will encourage you to join it. And of course, when I get to that part of the series, I'm going to show you exactly where to go in order to find it. Last but not least for now, and probably not last in the long run, is I'm going to talk about the Twitter list that I created and that I'm using on paper.ly to put out my daily paper called Empire Avenue Moguls. So kick back, stay tuned, relax, enjoy the show. I'm going to start rolling out these videos one at a time, one day at a time, over the next few days after you've seen this one. What is Empire Avenue? It's a social stock market. So what's in it for you? Well, for one thing, it's social. It's a great way to meet people, and it's a fun way to meet people because they've incorporated some aspects to it that make it a bit like a game, but also interesting, especially if you like things like the stock market. So stay tuned and I'll show you exactly what it's about and what could potentially be in it for you. So what is this Empire Avenue thing, you ask me? And the answer is, I'll tell you, it's the social stock market. And you say, okay, I belong to a million social websites already. What do I need this one for? For starters, I'm going to tell you this one's a lot more fun than most of them, because it's not just about posting pictures. In fact, you don't post any pictures and you don't post videos. You just buy stock in people. But you also communicate with them because you can post shout-outs and you can send shareholder mail. So it's really focused on more the communication between you and other people, and that's what makes it more social. And then there's the fun aspect of it where you're buying shares in people, not with real money, with fake money, which is what's great about it, because you can spend all of your money and it's okay. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry. Now, of course, Empire Avenue gives you the opportunity to use real money to buy their fake money, which are called EAVs, E-A-V-S, as in Empire Avenue. But you don't have to. I haven't spent a dime on Empire Avenue. I've built everything up just by using the fake money that they give me and buying people and encouraging people to buy me and giving people a reason to want to invest in me, which is ultimately done by getting a high dividend payout. And based on that, a high return on investment for the people who invest in me. And really, in many respects, it mirrors exactly what we're supposed to be doing out there on all social media sites, which is giving people a reason to want to connect with me. And how do I do that? By offering them something of value. So on Empire Avenue, I get the opportunity to build up my share price, to build up my dividends. And how do I do that? Well, if you look at the top right of the screen here, you're going to see that they have a list of all the other social sites that I've given them permission to connect to my Empire Avenue profile. And the reason I want to do that is because Empire Avenue gauges my activity on these other sites. They look at what I'm doing on YouTube, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and they add to the value of my share price based on my activity on all of these sites. And they add to the value of, that's what my dividend per share, what my payout is based on, is on the engagement factor, based on what I've read. I don't know the actual inner workings of their algorithms and how they calculate these things, but excuse me, anytime I get into something like this, I do as much reading as I can about it, spending no more than 1 hour a day on the stuff, mind you, because I have a job, I have a company to run. But I spend the time because I'm interested in this kind of stuff. I'm interested in how I can connect with people, and that's what Empire Avenue is all about. It's really about the connections. And what I found is probably more than any other site, more than Facebook, more than LinkedIn even. LinkedIn's probably a close tie, but the people really do engage with you on here. If you go out there and connect with people and just give them a tickler, say, hey, my name is Seth, and I'm here on Empire Avenue, and it's nice to meet you. I guarantee you that you'll get a nice response from people, because that's what I've experienced here. So I'm going to talk about a bunch of things that I've discovered on Empire Avenue. I'm going to explain what I've learned in terms of strategy that's worked for me so far, and I'm brand new at this. I signed up for an account here well over a year ago in May of 2010, but I never did anything with it. I sort of let it sit there dormant, and then I just picked it up a little after May of this year and started building up, and in about 3 months you can see my share price has climbed quite a bit on here, and I'm up today by 0.437. So and it's 92.83, and my I pay out $1.31 per share dividend, so that's pretty good on Empire Avenue. That's a pretty good dividend, and that's because of my activity here on these social networks. So that's what you want to do, and that's what I think is so great about Empire Avenue is they encourage you to be active on all networks, and you get rewarded for that. So come and check out Empire Avenue. It's empireavenue.com, all one word, and if you want to find me, it's empireavenue.com/nerd. My ticker, as you can see here, is eNerd, and it has my information, my website, and so on and so forth. You'll fill out your profile. Come and buy some stock in me. I'll buy some stock back in you. And follow along with this series and follow along with me directly on Empire Avenue, and I'll show you what I'm learning, because I'm still new at this, along the way. I'll share with you my experience, strength, and hope when it comes to Empire Avenue and all these other social sites. There's some exciting stuff coming up, so stay tuned. And I look forward to seeing you on the web. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. This has been a presentation by Nerd Enterprises Incorporated called Nerd's Empire Avenue Overview, an introduction to Empire Avenue. Knowledge is power. Make an impact by learning more. Call me right now at 866-945-8070 for information about private trainings. We record the live session so you can review it afterwards as often as you like.